Have you been wanting to make a website for yourself, but haven't because you thought it might look a little too DIY? Or maybe you're just not sure where to even start? Don't worry. With the right tips, it's not as hard as you might think. And today, I'll be giving you those tips and walking you through how to build a professional website for yourself. Hey guys, welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Renita. I'm a website designer who loves teaching people about Squarespace. And I'm the creator behind Gold Standard Design. If you're a creator, blogger, podcaster, or solopreneur looking to dive into the world of Squarespace, I got you. Okay, so what do I mean by a professional website? I mean one that doesn't look like a complete beginner made it. You know, the ones that are kind of just like meh. Yeah, not that. Even if you have zero experience in website building, Squarespace makes it super easy to create a beautiful and professional looking site pretty quickly. And no, this is not sponsored. I just love using Squarespace. Although, shout out to Squarespace. If you want to sponsor your girl, I'm here for it. Just saying. Okay, so go create your Squarespace account and let's jump into this. Timestamps in the description. Okay, once you've created your Squarespace account, you're going to go ahead and create a website. You can choose from the Squarespace templates, build your own or a blank one, but we're going to go ahead and check out the Squarespace templates first. Now it's going to ask you what your site is about. So you can choose from any of these categories here. Let's say media and podcasts, or you can go ahead and describe your site like that. What are your top goals? This will just help it recommend templates to you. It's not like make or break. Don't worry too much about this, but you can select, okay, I want to sell services and send invoices. Now, would you like to choose one or build one with AI? We're going to look ourselves and just see. So what I want you to notice here is that all these template types, right? You've got it defined by topic and by type, and it's going to recommend a best template match to you. That doesn't mean you have to choose that one though, okay? So what I want you to know about templates is you can basically ignore all these categories if you want to. If you find it helpful, okay, I recommend just ignoring them and unchecking all of this. And then just scrolling through and seeing one you like. So when you're looking at the templates, don't think of it in terms of like, oh, this one is made for podcasters or this one is made for restaurants or something like that. What you want to focus on is, do I like the style? Do I like the fonts and colors? Now, once you've found one that you like, we're going to go ahead and pick it. So let's see which one I'm going to choose today. I'm going to say this one. I like this one. So I just also want you to know that everything in each one of these templates, you can make each one of them do, if that makes sense. Like if you pick one template and you're like, oh no, it's not right, don't worry, you can always make it do everything that you want to. The purpose behind picking a template like this is just to get you kind of ahead of the game and a few steps already done for you. But it's not final. You can make it do whatever you want. So here are some of their sample color presets. You can play around and see how that looks. Don't worry, you can also customize all of these. So if you already have brand colors or something like that, you can choose that later. But just to get a feel for what your site might look like, here are some of their kind of recommended presets, things they know look good together. I'm going to go with this one. So we're going to start with this design. Okay, so once it's all built and ready, your site is all ready for you to look at. Welcome to your site. This nice little welcome message here. You can go ahead and create a title for your site if you want to now. If you don't want to, we can always do that later. I'm going to do it later. It's going to walk you through some of the basics, editing pages, but don't worry, I'm going to show you all that. Creating pages, styling, we're going to do all that. Don't worry. Okay, so it's going to start you with this outer section here, which is your website, selling, marketing, contacts, analytics, scheduling, and invoicing. We're going to jump into the website and then pages. So I want to talk about just some of the page types that you're going to get. All of these here you can see have got this kind of icon, which means they were all started as blank pages. You can see these are all demo as well, right? So here is your home page, which is where we are down here. So it's got kind of a template for you to pop in your own pictures, places for text, buttons. You can kind of get a feel for what that's like. So if you want to create your own pages, which will, there's two sections. There's two sections here, this main navigation and then this not linked. This main navigation section are the links that are going to show up here in the top of your site. So you can see we've got services, gallery, store, and contact. Services, gallery, store, and contact. This not linked section where the home page is, you can see there's no link for a home page here. That's because it's here. So these pages in the not linked section are ones that exist on the site, but they just don't show up here at the top. So they will be linked elsewhere. Like if we'd put in a site title here, I'm betting that it presets to link to your homepage. So if we just click edit, so if we kind of hover up here, you can see we're going to edit our site header. We can do anything. Let's see if this pops up, our navigation, and then site title and logo. That's what that section had prompted us to do before, but we didn't do it. So now later, if you decide on a title that you like, you can come in here and edit like that. And add your title like that. If you have a logo image, it will replace it. So if you add an image here, just know that this will go away and your logo will show up instead. Something to note about that is you want to pay attention to your image dimensions because you'll notice like if you pop in something, it's going to appear really small and maybe kind of hard to see. So just play around with that and decide what you think looks better. And then go ahead and save. Okay, page types. If we come over here to this little plus, you can see you've got blank pages, page layouts, scheduling, blog store, portfolio, events, videos, course, member site. This is new. Drop downs and links. So starting with, actually let's start with page layouts. Blank page is a blank page. So this is all of the kind of preset template within a template, if you will, that Squarespace has. These are like preset page types, basically. I would say just stay away from all of these. You don't need to do any of this. And the reason I say that is because if you come in here and say, make a reviews page from this template, and you make a contact page and an about page from this template or a services page, what starts to happen is though, even though you're gonna, change your colors, maybe change your fonts, you're gonna go in here and be like, yeah, that looks really good. I like this template. I like this layout. I'm gonna use it. The problem with that is that a lot of other people are gonna think just like that, and your website is gonna start to look like everyone else's, which is not what we're going for. So anytime you want to add a page, we want to add a blank page and not one of these because we're going for that professional website, guys. Okay, so just to talk about some of these other ones, scheduling, if you need a place to book appointments, classes, if you want to have a place for somebody to basically just schedule time with you, that's what this block is. A blog, I think you guys know what a blog is. A store, you know what a store is, selling products and services. If you've got physical or digital stuff, you can put it in the store. A portfolio is basically one main page with different kind of sub pages inside. Um, Events, if you have like a calendar of things that your business is out and about doing and you want to let people know, hey, we're going to be here on this day, like say you're a food truck or something like that, you can have this events section. Videos, say you've got like a tutorial series or something like that that you want to store on your website, you can do that. This new course section is kind of cool. It's similar kind of to a blog layout, but it's pretty easy to navigate. And then this member site is kind of a site within a site. Like any pages you add here are automatically hidden from your main site, and then they have to be paid for before they can be accessed. But if you don't want people to have to pay, you can also offer free memberships if you like. And then drop down, this used to be called a folder, and that's basically what it is. So just like a folder in real life, it kind of holds and organizes your pages. And then this link is kind of like a button that's not a button. So instead of having like a whole page title over here, something like that, it's just when people would click on that, it's a link directly to somewhere else, possibly to say your social media, or if you're featured maybe on another website, something that you want to link directly to, you can do that. So to start, we're going to create a blank page. Okay, and it automatically will show up under your main navigation here, which that's okay. Since we've already got pages named home, I'm going to call this home 2. We can rename that later. Okay, so what I recommend doing, once you've got your blank page created and named however you want it, you can see that because it's in that main navigation section, it shows up here. And I just want to show you that if you want to rearrange how these look, you can literally just drag them and then it will change up here, the order. That's how you do that. Super easy. Okay, what we want to do with this blank page is come in here to edit, and then we're going to add a section. Again, we're going to do a blank section. I'll talk about save sections in a minute. Add a blank section. Come in here and add blocks. So you've got all these different types of blocks. So most of them are self-explanatory: text, images, buttons, videos, audio, etc., etc. We're going to make a text box and say head 1. Once you start typing some text, this little menu pops up with all these different text styles. Okay, so what you're going to do, I want to make a second one. It is heading 2. Three, and I think there's one more heading type section. No. Yes. All right. So then what I like to do is just name this. It's being finicky. There we go. All of your different heading sections. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to come over here and do the same thing, but for our other type which is paragraphs. So we've got headings and paragraphs for text styles. Text styles. It sounded like textiles. Here. Keep forgetting that I have to duplicate them. Okay. 4. Oh, just kidding. This is monospace. Okay. So from here, what this does for you is you can see all of your text styles in one place, because once you set the text style, it's going to show up that way across your whole site. So what I like to do is make one page and have all of them like this so I can see what they're going to look like. Now, probably a better way to do this is do this here and then say, duplicate that whole section and instead edit this to come in here to be your colors. So you can see what it will look like on each section background, if that makes sense. That I actually like this font for the headings. I don't so much like this here though. So I don't like this preset font that they have for the paragraph styles. So what I want to do is come up to this little paintbrush. You've got your site styles and come up to fonts. So Squarespace has some preset like font pairings that they think will look good that you can choose from, kind of like the preset templates and things like that. So you can look through all of the font packs and see if there's something that you like. This looks, I think this is the one that we have now. Or maybe this one. But anyway, you can come through here, say, oh yeah, these look good together. This is the feel that I'm kind of going for. Choose from your different sans serif or serif versus mixed font pairings. I do like this one. And then over here, once you change it, you can see how it's going to look. I like the paragraph one of that a little bit better. Nope, not that one. Let's go with this one. You can also change the base size here. And then if you wanted to have like a different setting for your buttons or something like that, this is where you would come in and change all of those settings separately. Just remember, this is going to affect like everything across your entire site, basically, okay? So when you set the text styles here, it's going to be like a global change, if that makes sense. So any button is going to look the same. Any paragraph one is going to look the same from these settings. Okay, so this is also where you would come in here and edit your colors. Say if you already have your brand colors, something like that. This is that preset pack that we had chosen at the beginning when we were building our site. But if you want to edit it, this is right where you would do that. So they've got your 5 colors up here. You can change each of them individually by just clicking and dragging around, or if you have hex codes, you can put them in as well. Or you can change up the whole theme. If you're like, oh no, I like this preset, you can just do that as well. I like this one, so I'm going to stick with it. Buttons specifically, this is the section where you would edit that. So I would also add some buttons here so you can see how that will look. So I gotta back out of this. I forgot to do that. We want to add a button. Okay, and just like with the text styles, the headings and the paragraphs, the buttons have their own 3 separate kind of styles as well: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Same kind of deal where you can style each one of those individually, just like the headings are bigger than the paragraphs type thing. That's what this is. So let's add some more. Oh no. One more. Okay, now we've got our buttons, so we can go back up to the paintbrush, go to that buttons section. So up here you've got your primary, secondary, and tertiary style settings. This is where you would edit all of that, wherever, if it's the text, the shape. Ooh, I actually don't want it to be square. No, no, no. I like rounded edges. That's better. So you can play around with this till you get something that you like. I do recommend doing all of this first. It seems kind of tedious, I know, but go ahead and do all of these things first, and then building all of the pages on your site is going to be so much easier. I promise. So let's see. I want this to be maybe like this. Yeah. That. Do I like? Oh no, I do not. I do not. If you want to change the font for your buttons, that's where you would do that. No. Again, you can change the shape, all of these things. Just play around till you get things that are to your liking. I actually do want this. No. A little bit bigger. Oh, yeah, like that. Okay. So once you've got your one section done and you add your buttons, like I did, don't forget, you can roll over them, see how they'll look, and then you're going to duplicate your sections and see how it looks in each different color, because you will want to use all your different colors. So do that first, and don't forget to save and exit. That is how you build a page, okay? So one thing I do want you to keep in mind as you're adding pages here is whatever you name it here will be its URL slug, okay? So if your site is renita'sdesigns.com, it's going to be that / whatever is here in this URL slug section, okay? So like if we go to the contact page, it's renita'sdesigns.com / contact. Makes sense? Okay. So if we have created a new homepage instead of maybe editing the preset one, and I want to change it, see how it's got this little house? This one is set as our home page, not just because it's named home. So if I want to change that to be, I don't know, let's say I want my gallery page to be the first thing that people land on. You're going to go over here to the little settings button and just say set as homepage. And you'll be like, are you sure? And you'll be like, yeah, I'm sure. So now the house is up here. See that? So the first thing that people would land on when they go to reneedsdesigns.com is that gallery page. Okay, now depending on the kind of site you have, you might or might not need all of these preset main navigation links, right? Maybe you only need services and about, which I think is the story section, and contact, something like that. If you want to delete a page, I don't think I will need this one. You can either do it this way, which is delete page. Okay, so the other way to do that, to delete a page, is just to come over here and hit the little trash button like that, okay? So for your top navigation, you want to keep these labels pretty simple. We can get creative in other areas, guys. You generally want to keep these labels to things like home, about, blog, shop, things like that. And the reason you want to keep it simple is so that it's easy to look at and so your visitors can quickly find what they're looking for. Also, if your titles are too long here, they'll start to wrap, especially on mobile view, which if people are like looking at your site on the phone, which doesn't look good. It looks pretty amateur and DIY, which again is not the look we're going for. And if you want to check that, there's this mobile view button right here. Okay, so we can see how our site is going to look on a phone. The navigation has been compressed into this like little hamburger menu here. So again, if these titles are too long or something, they're going to start to wrap around and like be on 2 lines instead of 1. Not what we want, right? Yes, we do not want that. Also, one thing you want to keep in mind as you're building your pages is to keep your photos and images to 250 kilobytes or less to make sure your pages load quickly. And if you want more info about why that's important, you can go check out my Squarespace SEO video that will be linked in the description. Okay, so let's see how to actually build a page. Okay, so let's go ahead and build out a contact page. Even though we've got this preset one here, let's just see how we do that. Let's start with a blank page. I'm going to name it contact 2 because we already have something called contact. And then we're going to edit and add a section. Something I like to do on contact pages is put this little accordion thing, which is basically like a drop down. So each of these is going to be like this title here is what's going to show on the outside, and then your description is what's going to show on the inside, if that makes sense. So let's see. Might have something like, do you offer hourly services? And then you can say yes. And then, you know, things like that. Or maybe here. And then fill it out, you know, to your liking, to your specifications. And then save it, always save it. And then what you can do, you do want to check this mobile view pretty consistently as you're designing to make sure that things look all right. And one thing I will say, this mobile design, you can edit it kind of separately than the desktop design, if that makes sense. So I'm going to drag this over here. And then, maybe I want to put a picture over here. So they have a couple options for uploading your images. You can have something saved on your computer. You can select from your library of images that you've already uploaded to your Squarespace site, or you can browse their stock ones. So again, if you come into here, my library will be things that you've already uploaded to your site that you want to maybe reuse, something like that. You can also search for different categories and their free images, or if you want to pay for premium ones as well. And I would like this to be a bit bigger. Okay. Like that. And then down below in my new section, since this is a contact page, I'm going to add this blank one. And I want it to be a different color, like this. So because this is a contact page, I'm going to add a form here. I would like to stretch it, but maybe not quite that much. Like this. Okay. Then I'm going to come in here and design all of the things like this. This storage section is where you want the form to go, if that makes sense. So once people fill this form out on the website, where does all that info get sent? That's what you're going to choose here. You probably do want an email notification. And then what I like to do is put it directly to my Google Drive. So that's where you would connect this. And then once people fill out a form and submit, hit the little submit button, all those responses will go into a Google Sheet in your Google Drive, if that's the option that you choose. You also can connect it to Zapier or MailChimp. For me, when you're just starting out, like when I was just starting out, Google Drive was easiest, so that's just what I went with. And then you can go in and see all their info and all of their messages and descriptions, contact info, sort by that. I find that's easier in a spreadsheet. Okay, so you can name your form here. Your form name is what's going to be the title of that spreadsheet that's going to get created in Google Drive. So maybe name it something that will make sense to you. Something you'll be like, oh yeah, that's what that is. Okay. You can edit your button text. Form fields are all your questions. Okay, so you probably want their name. Probably don't need a description. And then you can make any of these fields required or not required. I would want everyone's name and email. And then maybe you want to add something here like, I don't know, let's say a website. So if I was offering like web design services, I would say, put your existing website here. It's not required because maybe they don't have a website, but if I wanted it to be required, that's what I would turn on. And then to rearrange how these go, you're going to hit that edit button and then just drag. And then also, if you want to get rid of a section, I don't want a subject, just give me your name, email, website, message. Okay, so that's where all of this would show up like that. And then your post submit is just the message that the person's going to get after they hit your little submit button or whatever you choose to name it. Now you can just put a text based message here and kind of play around with how that looks, or if you would like something fancy and special to show up, you can put the code in here. Okay, so we've got our form. Oh, I don't think I like how that is. So remember to look at this while you're designing I like that button better, and I want it to be in the middle. Yeah, that looks better to me. And remember, anytime you make changes here, this little blue bubble is going to pop up in mobile view, and all that's saying is, hey, you haven't reviewed how this looks in mobile. Click this to just make sure it looks good, because sometimes things can look crazy on mobile versus desktop. All right, so there is your page. Now I will say this was part of our template down here, which was the footer section. So see how it says edit site footer? That's what this is. And this will show up obviously on all of your pages, right? Because it's the footer. It's going to be at the bottom of every page. So just like the header, you edit it separately than the page itself. Remember how we did that before? So you can kind of like that to be a little smaller. Stretch you out onto one line. Maybe make this bigger. And again, it's just a matter of adding blocks in here. The little add block will pop up. So whatever you want to put in your footer, if it's links or text or images or I don't know, audio or this newsletter section, whatever you want to put, add the block, save it, and then you're good to go. Now, if you're wondering how to get all your content prepped and ready to pop into your beautiful new website, you might want to check out my free Squarespace website prep guide that's linked down in the description. It will guide you through each step from writing copy for your pages to gathering images to even doing research on your competition. So go check it out. It's free. Oh, one thing I didn't show you was if you want, so remember how we designed our second contact page and we wanted to replace this one. So I'm going to delete that one, confirm, and then just drag this from our not linked section up into our main navigation. So now that shows up there. Oh, and one other thing, this little arrow here will kind of pop out so you can see the whole screen instead of like that squished down version with your menu over here. So let's say I want this to go here. There it is. One thing I would do is come in here and rename this just contact because we got rid of that other one, and change the URL slug as well. All right. And the last thing that I want to show you is this cool saved sections tool that Squarespace has. So say like, you styled a section maybe with, I don't know, your FAQs or just something that you want to reuse on multiple areas on your website. What you can do is go into that section that you like, click this little heart button, okay? And now that has saved your section. So if I wanted to say go create a new page is fine. What I could do is when I go to add my section, go to the saved sections and pop that in. And look, there it is. So that's a nice kind of time-saving tool as well. Just make sure to save. Oh, one other thing that I want to show you, which you'll probably want to do, is connecting your social media accounts, okay? So probably you want to put that in your header and or footer for your website. So if you want to put it in your header, it's super easy. Go over here and add elements and then check this social links box. So automatically it's going to come up with these preset ones. And then what you want to do is just click on the social links and go to the pencil. So You can add any others that you want here, whether, and then you can choose how big you want them to appear. Maybe you want them a little bit bigger, smaller, if you'd like a border around them. I do not like that. But what you would do is come in here and just paste your profile link there, and that's how it would show up. Now, if you want to add those same social links somewhere else on your website besides just the header, it's just like regular blocks, right? So come in here and add a block. It's going to be down here. So again, same deal. You get the pencil, go in, put your links, pasted like that. You can edit the design, etc., etc. So you can pop those in anywhere you feel like, and it doesn't, of course, have to be these preset ones. Edit and add however many you want or don't want. Okay, the last thing I want to show you to make your site definitely look professional and not amateur or DIY is adding your logo and favicon. So we already kind of talked about where to put your logo, but just in case, I'll show you one more time. Come into the site's header. See if you hover over here, it says site title and logo. Hit that pencil. And then this is where you would upload your logo image, all right? Now, what is a favicon? Some people might also call it like a browser icon. What it is like this little thing right here. So see how this black cube, or like over here, there's the Squarespace symbol, that is a favicon, all right? So how do you add one to yours so you don't have this black cube up here? You're gonna come out to here and go down to settings and then over to favicon, and then go ahead and just add one here or there. So they've got a few tips. It says icons should be in a PNG file format and recommended sizing is between 100 by 100 pixels and 300 by 300. So definitely keep it small, but once you upload it here, it will show up there. Although sometimes it can take like a few days to show up. So don't worry if it doesn't show up immediately. I've seen some advice from Squarespace that says, you know, like clear your browser cache. That might help it to load more quickly, but that is where you would put that. Okay, guys, it's time to go build your beautiful, unique, professional website. Once it's published and live, leave your link down below and I'd love to go check it out. I want to see what you guys are doing and just how creative you can be, because I know you are. If you found any of this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Squarespace tips and tricks. And let me know down in the comments what other things you're interested in learning about Squarespace, online business, all websites, all the things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!